Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Yeah, me too. Robert Williams is here. Oh, you know that. My name's Kyle Belanger, and I am the lucky dude who gets to host the 60 Days of Summer. 60 consecutive days of family-friendly entertainment underneath the dome here in the watchful eyes of all of the Hall of Famers who've come before. What does that mean? It means that for the last, well, we've still got 1 week left of appearances just like this, but you have come today to see your favorite young Celtic. I know that. So here's the format. For the next 20 minutes, I get to have all the fun. It's me, Robert Williams, talking one-on-one. I'm going to help him tell his story. He doesn't need my help. I'm really just the guy that sits next to him and gets to toss him the lobs for him to dunk. After that, you will get a chance. 2, 3 of you, 4 of you maybe, might get a chance to ask Robert Williams a question. So if there's something you've ever wanted to ask a Celtic, one of the stars of the future, start thinking about that now. And I'll give you a warning and ask for your volunteers in a bit, and one of my friends on the Hoop Hall staff will put that small group together to my right, your left. When that's done, the fun continues, because each and every one of you will be able to get in line and spend a second or two with Robert Williams getting an autograph. Don't worry if you didn't bring anything. We at the Hall of Fame will provide that for you as well. We have great photos over there for each and every one of you. So what do you think? Should we get to it? All right. Let me tell you a little bit about my new best friend, Robert Williams. Robert Williams, 6'10" center power forward for your Boston Celtics, a first-round pick in 2018, 27th overall. He's a 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year at Texas A&M. He's a native of Caddo Parish in Louisiana, 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan and a 40-inch vertical. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Robert Williams. Welcome to Springfield, man.
What's up? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Robert, welcome to Springfield. Before I get into your incredible story, I'd love to just get your impression of this moment here. I mean, you've accomplished so much in your young career already. You've seen the world through hoop, and yet here you are for the first time in Springfield, in the Hall of Fame. You just got your tour. The game was invented here. You've got all these people who came all this way to see you. Can you put this into context? What does this feel like for a guy who's done so much already?
I was really just excited to see the museum. You know, it's my first time here. I wish the other part of it was done so these beautiful people could see it, but they got to wait a little bit. But just thankful for the support, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity. I got to be here. Like I said, see this again. I'm still amazed by the Hall of Fame pictures. But just looking forward to enjoying this, man.
Well, we are so pleased that you're here. So I want to go all the way back. I see your forearm piece says Louisiana right there, so I know you're Louisiana proud. I want to go all the way back to Shreveport, because there was another Celtics big man who was born in Shreveport. Of course, you know, he sat in that chair just 2 weeks ago, Robert Parrish. And I'm curious, I always like to go back to the beginning. There he is right there looking down on us as Louisiana proud as well. Give me a sense of what your childhood was like in Louisiana, and how maybe it shaped the love for basketball that you would come to know.
I wanted to play football.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was younger, I remember my 8th grade year in middle school, I got, you know, the cleats, everything I needed. My dad bought me everything, and as soon as I got to high school my freshman year, he just cut it all off. Like, nah, you done. But I was big on football, you know what I'm saying, but apparently he seen something in me in basketball, and what my dad said went, so, you know, I started grinding, and apparently he saw the right thing.
Yeah, he saw something for sure, because in a very short period of time, you go from a football player who's playing basketball to the state's #1 recruit. So talk to me, you know, you said what your dad says goes, and if you could tell my kids that, I'd appreciate it. But there has to be somewhere along the way where you start to love the game that you're incredibly gifted at playing. So as your star starts to rise, Was there a moment where you realized not only was this your gift, but this was an opportunity for you to go places.
Yeah, I got invited to play in the EYBL, the Nike circuit. I say like my freshman year, but I wanted to turn it down because I wanted to play with the neighborhood AU team with my friends.
Yeah.
So my goddad was the coach of the AU team, and he actually shut the team down and didn't coach that year, just so I would go play with the Houston Hoops. And when he did that, I was kind of like, yeah, it must be. It's serious.
Yeah. If they're willing to put up caution tape around the whole team so that Robert goes and plays somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that to this day, but that was kind of an eye-opener that he shut down the whole team's games during the summer.
Yeah, it's sort of it is that initial sacrifice, but it also, I think, speaks to the beauty of sort of the family aspect of your story, right? I mean, you had people looking out for you. People were willing to sacrifice the whole season, that team, so that you had the opportunity. And you mentioned, going to play in Houston, and when it came time for your recruitment, Coach Billy Kennedy keeps you in Texas, convinces you that College Station is the place for you. I'm always fascinated by recruitment stories, especially a guy like you whose star really shot through the roof once it caught fire. What was it that Coach Kennedy said to you that made you know that it was Texas A&M and that everyone else could just pack it up and go home?
Him and Coach Keller, Coach Stephen F. Austin, for like a month straight, every day, I felt like every day when I got out of school, I walked to my car, to the parking lot, and they'd be parked in the back, the very back of the parking lot, and I go up to them, I'd be like, "What's up?" Coach Kennedy be like, "Just came down here to see you, about to head out," and for them to hop on the plane and just come down here to see me for a couple of seconds, if anything, they kind of stuck with me.
Absolutely. And it's great because after a solid freshman year for you, there was speculation that you would declare for the draft, but you came back for what turned out to be an unbelievable run for this team. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, your sophomore season, you guys go 16-15, but earn the 7 seed in the tournament, and all you proceed to do is beat Providence and North Carolina and make the Sweet 16. Can you reflect on that experience and how personally, I guess, validating that must have felt, opting to come back and then beating Carolina and Providence and playing to the Sweet 16? Was that personally rewarding for you?
Yeah, it was because of the people I came back to play with too. Tyler Davis, Admon Gilder, DJ Ho, Dwayne, TJ, the whole A&M team. We wanted to value the moment. That was the biggest thing about it. So getting those wins, it was more of like a let's value this, let's give it our all, let's go all out, because this is the last time we're gonna play with each other. So that's how we're thinking.
How does this, for someone who's never going to experience playing in the NCAA tournament, how do those games feel as opposed to even the SEC tournament, right? I mean, so you go in that season, you go from regular season SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, rattle off 2 banner wins that the program will be living off of for years, despite the fact that we all expect them, especially with Buzz now, to continue to rise. Do those games feel different? Those NCAA tournament games?
Yeah, everything is different, man. The atmosphere is different. The bubble guts are different. Everything, it's a whole different atmosphere. It's more urgency, and it's more eyes on you. It's NBA scouts, and it's overseas scouts. So people out there trying to kill.
Then, of course, is draft night. And Celtic fans, all the green out here remembers how pumped it was the morning after the draft, especially for the little guys who probably had to go to sleep after the first 3 or 4 picks, to wake up and hear your name and learn about you. Can you talk about all the emotions that went into your draft night? And you hear your name at 27, it's the Boston Celtics, and I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about sort of the give and take, because everyone wants to go lottery, but the give there is that you're going to a team that needs a lot of help. You go at 27, you're stepping into an instant contender. Can you talk to us about your experience in the draft and how maybe those emotions played out for you?
Yeah, when I got drafted, my sister and my mom were crying. I actually couldn't even. I was trying to cry, like I couldn't feel the emotions or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 days later. But with the draft process, it was just I wanted to keep it. I wanted to keep it inside my family. You know, that's why I did it back at home, and I wanted to keep everything small. But I say the give and take of the fall was that obviously I'm with a great organization.
Yeah.
A great organization, one of the best organizations in this league. You know, I'm very, very thankful for that. I feel like that's the biggest takeaway I got out of this. But the fall at first was my dad, diehard Kobe, diehard Laker. So, you know, it's tension.
Yeah, there's tension.
It's tension. But yeah, he got to get over it, man.
It's on him now. It's on him. You left football for him. Now he has to leave the Lakers for you.
Right.
I think it's fair. It's fair. It's fair. When did you know the Celtics were interested? Did you have an exceptionally strong workout for them? Had Danny reached out to you, or was it all a surprise on draft night?
Man, I didn't work out with him. I was sitting down while the draft was going on, and my agent texted me. He was just like, Boston. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And they drafted me, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, thankful, very thankful, even if my dad is mad.
Even if my dad is mad. He'll get over it, I hope. If he's watching now, please, Mr. Williams. We want to keep your son around as long as we can. I have to ask, I married a Southern woman, and it was difficult for me when we moved to New England to find restaurants that she found worthy of her Southern taste. Have you found anything in Boston? Not yet. Perk told me a couple weeks ago he still flies up to Boston once a month so that he can eat Italian food in Boston. So Kendrick Perkins, maybe I'll get you guys to ask Perk next time you see him. He'll tell you where.
Yeah, I don't really get out a lot, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't get out a lot, but I found a couple good burger places, so I'm good.
Of course, Boston fans remember last year's roster so well, the characters and the way that the narrative of the year happened. I'm curious for you as a rookie, walking into that locker room, how long did it take for you to sort of get the feel for the locker room, to maybe feel comfortable, to feel like this was your locker room too. This was your job. You're going to work too. Well, how long did it take for you to feel like this was a place that you were comfortable in?
I feel like they embraced me from the get-go, so I was obviously comfortable. And
Cool.
As far as this is my job goes, you always want to be on your P's and Q's, especially when you're a rook. You don't want the coaches yelling at you. You don't want the vets yelling at you. That's 10 times worse than the coaches. But yeah, you always want to be on point. So I feel like me going there, being comfortable and being myself most of all was the best thing.
Now, this was the time I was telling you about. I only have 4 more questions for Robert Williams. So if you're thinking in your head, I can't believe he didn't ask, now you can start to formulate that question. I'll ask for volunteers in a moment. You can put your hand in the air, and my friends at the Hoop Hall staff will select a handful of you. As could be expected with the roster the way it was, you got the opportunity to develop a bit in the G League. And I know that that's not exactly, when you draw out the way that you want your career to go, it's usually, but with the roster, you had the opportunity. And it took that injury to Al to allow you to really work into the rotation in a meaningful way. Can you talk about that experience and what you were working on? What did they say when you went down to Maine? Were you there to work on something specific, or were they just like, keep doing you, keep sharpening you, and when you come back, we know you're gonna shine?
It was just work on your whole game, go all out every play, give 100% effort. That was the emphasis. But I honestly love playing in Maine. I love playing in the G League. It's a dogfight, man. You know, everyone down there playing for a deal. So I actually love going down there, let alone all the touches I got. So.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm so glad you bring that up because I know that these videos are watched around the world. And as a former Springfield Armor NBA D-League season ticket holder, I think we need some G-League in Springfield. It would just make sense. Talk to me. You told me that you're not a stats guy.
Yeah.
I am. And so when I look at your advanced metrics from last year, they are absolutely crazy. You averaged 5.1 blocks per 36 minutes. To put that into context, that is the highest number since Manute Bol in 1991. That is absolutely crazy. You converted 10 of 11 lobs for dunks. I mean, your metrics are unbelievable. Can you talk about if this is a preview of things to come? Is this the player that, with all of these minutes in the front court available this year, is this the player we can expect?
Yeah, like I said from the question previously, you can expect 100% effort from me all the time. So yeah. I feel like that's a part of doing your job, the dunks, the blocks, playing defense, timing, being where I need to be. It's a part of my job, and I got to do it if I want to keep it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a question for Robert Williams? Put your hand in the air right now, and my friends in the Hoop Hall staff will come and gather a lucky handful of you. The Summer League this year was amazing for you, and that Celtics Summer League team was so much fun to watch. How did this year's Summer League experience, now that you're a veteran, let that sink in, right? How did this year's Summer League feel different for you?
It was way more confidence, way more confidence going into into the summer. Going into the last Summer League, I didn't really know anyone on my team. Yeah. This year I knew Grant Williams, Carson Edwards, knew him from playing against some EYBL college, knew of Taco. So we kind of formed a good chemistry, and we felt good. We felt good out there together, so it was a great experience.
Can you give us a preview of this year's team? You mentioned the young guys, but you said everyone's reporting soon. Is there a group text? Is everyone pretty fired up to report back? Everyone excited to see Coach Stevens even? You might have to say that. He's probably listening.
Nah, everybody I've been seeing everybody getting back in the gym, putting in good work. We been having good workouts, good individual workouts, good chemistry, couple lunches, people going to dinners, and that's what you need to keep a team together.
Yeah. Who's the one rookie that everyone's going to really love watching this year? Can you give us a name? I mean, they're all fantastic.
I feel like I have to say Taco.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Williams. Hey. All right, now I didn't warn you ahead of time, but these are the hard questions. Just want you to know that. So let's bring up the first one here, and I only have a couple of requests for you. One, you introduce yourself to Mr. Williams, and tell him your name and where you're from, and you let me hold the mic.
My name is Marshall, and I'm from Woodside.
Here we go. Oh yeah, here we go.
How many dunks have you made?
My whole life has to be above 300.
Thank you, sir. Is that more or less than you? A little more? Thank you. I mean, the man took my seat. I'm not gonna, I thought I was done. Be a weird way to fire me. They just send up my replacement. Hey, buddy, what's your name and where you're from?
My name's Christian. I'm from Billerica.
Excellent, Christian. What's your name? Or what's your question? Sorry.
How can I be a better basketball player on defense?
Just repetition and hard work. Always work on what you think you need to get better at. Even if you feel like you don't need to get better at it, continue to work on it, and it'll all work out.
Great question. Good luck. Keep working. I'm so thankful that Kemba's wearing Antoine's number. I can recycle my Walker jersey. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Jonathan David, and I'm from New York, New York. how did you feel about Kyrie Irving and Al Horford leaving the Boston Celtics?
I felt like I lost two great vets, with a lot of wisdom, but it's a business and you gotta pray and hope for the best for them.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Welcome. What's your name and where are you from?
Samaj, and I'm from Chelsea. How do you feel when you're playing against like very famous people?
It's obviously a shocker. I still get shocked when I play against, Anthony Davis. I see people out there, but I feel like I'm on the court for a reason, so just play my game.
Thanks, Samaje. And here comes the closer. I told you these were the hard ones. I told you. Hey, bud, what's your name and where are you from?
Oh, my name is Issa Ramon. I'm from New York.
What's your question?
So far in your career, what's been your highlight?
I would say winning my first playoff series against the Pacers was my highlight.
Excellent question. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, one final round of applause for Robert Williams.
I appreciate it.
All right, now Mr. Williams is headed over to the autograph table on my right, your left. There are 2 lines. If you are a hall pass holder,